No, cursed, you stupid live stream. For some reason, this thing will only stream this way when I'm in YouTube rather than StreamYard. But I'm here fireside in Chilly Willy, Ohio. And I figured I'd still try to have a stream even though it's a bit late. Um, it has been a kind of train wreck of a trip. But yeah, I still wanted to hop on and say, what's up, guys? How's it going? See what is going on in your world. Nerd out about some fish, maybe talk about some fish. So, yeah, what's up, Skydancer? BS Zero Man, what's going on? Corundulian works, what's up? Oscar Llewellyn. Who else is hiding in here? Linda, what's going on? So, yeah, that's what's going on here. Let's see if it'll let me flip things. If there's some setting, I don't even think there is. Great. Well, I did one high point of the trip is that I did get to go and check out a local aquarium shop, which was very cool. They had this massive, like 16-foot discus tank, and it was all planted and looked really nice. And then they had also a stingray tank too, so that was cool. So I got some video of that, but yeah, I guess while people are coming in, I guess I'll just let you know what's going down, what happened on the trip. So sip your Dr. Pepper if you got some. So I got vaccinated. When would that be? Monday. And Tuesday, I was feeling really run down, like really tired and sore, coughing. I still have been a little bit congested. And that was the newest like update of the booster or whatever. So I went and I got that and felt really ill after I got it. Like about 12 hours after getting the shot, I just felt super nauseous and threw up a few times and stuff. So I was pretty sensitive to the vaccine, I guess. So then Laura, obviously my wife, was saying that she didn't feel so hot. And that was kind of all weekend, and then it really ramped up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling so good." And so we thought, well, let's take the test, make sure that neither one of us have it. I wouldn't assume that I could get it through a vaccine. You're not supposed to. They don't actually use any part of the real active virus for the vaccine anyhow. So they or we took the test, we were negative. And so we decided, okay, we're going to fly out to Ohio. And the whole point was to surprise her dad for his 75th birthday. Well, she got an Airbnb that's super cute, and she worked hard to like plan out like things to do each day, places to go see the lights at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, and watch the football game with her dad. And they're big Buckeye fans, obviously, because they live in Columbus. And so, yeah, we came out here, and we did have one strike of luck, which was we had a full plane except for our little aisle. And we only had my wife and I out under the 3 seats, so we were able to spread out a little bit. But then after the vaccine, I started having bad welt. If you can see, I mean, you can see them, yeah. Bad welts breaking out from it, which is something that happens when my immune system's under attack. Sometimes with the lupus, is I get these like blisters and a rash on my face and stuff. The rash is gone now, but those are the remnants. And so, yeah, whatever. I mean, hopefully it protected me. So here comes the part that's not so great. So we get here and my wife is really feeling not so good, and she's like, "You know what? Let's just take a test." She brought one, and make sure we're good before we go see my dad, because her dad's 75, right? And yeah, Corundilian, yep, butterfly rash and hives on your arms and chest. Yeah, I get the hives on my face the worst, usually, but I do have them on my arms too. So yeah, we get here, we take one of the tests that she brought with us, and it was from our closet that has like a lot of the tests left over from who knows, like, a year ago or whatever. Like, we have boxes of them. Whenever they were free, we just kind of grabbed some or applied online and got free ones. So we had a stack of them, and she decided to bring one box with us. Well, it happened to be a box that only had one test in it, so we did it, and she tested positive for it. So then we were like, oh crap! Like, we literally just got here. We're in a house that her sister and brother-in-law were supposed to come share with us, if not maybe even more of her friends or her brother or someone, there's other family that may have come to share this Airbnb with us also. Well, it turns out that, no one wants to hang out with somebody with COVID. So we immediately were like, oh man, and her dad doesn't know that we're coming. So we're supposed to surprise him. And all the while, we're trying to figure out, like, do I have it? When am I going to get it? Yeah, just like kind of nerve-wracking, stressful stuff. And I've been wearing, either one of us have been wearing a mask one around one another, and then hand sanitizer, and she's been sleeping in a different room. I've been sleeping in the living room. And yeah, so far I haven't tested positive for it, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that I got my booster like just a number of days ago, if that's helping me out at all or not, or if my lupus of all things is maybe keeping my immune system overreacting and not letting it catch a foothold. But I have been tired just because of the autoimmune reaction, but I haven't gotten it yet, knock on wood, and I feel like, who knows when I will get it. So then the thought is, we were supposed to fly home Sunday night, and now we were trying to figure out, like, yesterday too, like, do we fly home? Do we just turn around and come back like a different time or something? Because this sucks, and we were just on a plane with 300 people and apparently positive, even though we'd taken a test earlier. It's like she became positive on the way over, basically. So now I'm not still at all, and I'm hoping, we can get back. So the problem is that we can't stay until she's completely, like, 5 days after having it, testing clear or whatever. Danikin, thank you so much. Kenny, have a Dr. Pepper on me, brother. Hope you're having fun. Well, fun would be one word for it, I suppose, right? I am having a Dr. Pepper. I do appreciate it. So Lara's sick, and I just feel so bad for her because she's supposed to see her dad. And so we went and we got a balloon and some stuff at the store. And Lara had to wait hiding out in the driveway. And we're like behind her dad's car. And that morning of all days too happened to be the coldest one of the year so far in Columbus. And it's like an early it's an early, what do you call it? Snowfall or cold snap off the lake. And so it's like tonight, I think it's supposed to be 18 or 19 degrees, and to anywhere between there and, well, somewhere between 15 and 20 degrees, depending on where you are in this area. And so it's been really cold, but it started snowing that day too. And so we surprised her dad, but we couldn't really hang out because it's so cold. So we were like, um, where are we supposed to go? Like to hang out? Like, let's have a bonfire kind of thing. But it's like, yeah, well, it's 15 degrees at night or whatever. So that's not going to work out so well. So we just felt really bad that we came all this way. We've been planning it for a super long time, and like for what's the word? Not forego, but went. We didn't go on vacation or make any other plans all the way up through March. And all of the year so far, my wife and I haven't flown anywhere together. I've traveled a little bit. One, thanks to you guys in AGA and that stuff, and then to Florida to speak. But other than that, and then Oregon to speak too, which was awesome, thanks to Kenny and his club. So yeah, this trip we kind of like we didn't spend money on things, and we planned to do this thing, and then now we're here, and we've got this rental that we were supposed to split too. Now we're not going to do that, and we're here, and then to basically turn around and wrap Lara up in like double masks, and while I'm still negative, hopefully, like I'll keep testing, but I think the plan is while I'm negative, we're going to try to get her home with like two masks, and this way it'll have been like 4.5 days since she tested positive, and she's already getting better from the like sinus stuff. She's basically had very, very minimal symptoms, which is really good, compared to like what you could have. So I'm really grateful for that. But now we're kind of just thinking like, am I gonna get it at any point in time now? And then it's like, then we got two people stuck here in Ohio with nowhere to stay. Uh, so it's kind of like an ethical predicament because we don't want to expose people on the plane. But at the same time, we can't stay here. We can't afford to stay here like 2 weeks or whatever the ethical, totally clear point would be, especially if I were to get it on Sunday or tomorrow or something, and she starts getting better. Then it would just be like, well, maybe one of us comes. That and rebooking your plane to a later time, just at your wishing from here, is like $1,700. So we're not going to do that. So they do have an offer to come a day home a day earlier, so tomorrow. So I think what we're going to try to do is, yeah, just like bundle her up, and we've got seat selected in the back, um, and hopefully, yeah. But it's just crazy. This trip has been wild, and I feel so bad for her. We did surprise the hell out of her dad, and they got to see each other for a little bit. A little bit. I mean that, like, only 20, 30 minutes or something. And then we had to leave, and she's had to rest the whole time. But we're in a pretty sweet Airbnb. It's like a nice house, and the area here, I'll step outside for a sec. The area is cute. It's a nice, like, quaint part of town, and we've got the fire going and stuff. So if like we didn't have to pay whatever it was, $200 a night or something crazy, that we thought we'd be splitting 6 ways, we could have stayed here longer or whatnot. But yeah, so trip a failure. Trip definitely a failure. um and it's snowing. So also, when I went to the Scioto River, it was frozen. So my other thought was, well, I don't have it yet. I'll stay out of the house and try to go do stuff so that I am not around her to get it. And it turns out that there's a cool aquarium store that I went to. And there's another one I want to go to tomorrow if I keep testing negative and feeling fine. But it's kind of like, I don't want to leave her all alone either. So I want to check on her because she's real bummed just chilling at the house all day. So yeah. Um, so let's see here. What y'all saying? That's what's going on my end, though, guys. Fanatical, send her well wishes from us. I will. Thank you, you guys. Mick, too. Let's see here. You guys are all saying hi. Paul McCarthy, what's up? George, what's going down? I think my macrostoma may be holding. He's hiding. Is he a poker player or something? What's going on? Alex, I'm so sorry. Alex, wish I could help you and your wife does your body temperature ramp up and down a lot? Yes. Yeah, definitely. In cold weather though, I actually feel better generally. It's the hot weather that gets me, my skin and my joints and everything going nuts. Alpha Preacher, hello. Um Oh yeah, booster vac won't matter. My wife and son were diagnosed with it, and my daughter and I threw negatives for 4 days after them, even though we all had the same illness. Um, Wait, so Alpha Preacher, you're saying my wife and son were diagnosed with it, and my daughter and I threw negatives for 4 days after them, even though we all had the same. Oh, did you guys end up ever testing positive, Alpha Preacher? Like, was that what happened in the end? Surf City, what's up? Uh, Jerome, we are in, yes, Dublin, Ohio, not Dublin, Ireland. Thankfully, we'd be really screwed if we were in Dublin, Ohio, Ireland. Beta Aquatics, thank you for the well wishes, you guys. Um, oh, rough Fanatical. You've had 3 different vaccines and boosters, and you've also gotten it 3 times. That sucks. Uh, Fluids for the wife. Yes, definitely. That's what I've done is I've gotten her lots of Pedialyte and Gatorade and cocoa and stuff like that. She's actually not that sick. She was like, let's go to the bar and meet up with my friends. Oh, yeah, Worcester in Ohio. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're in a. Oh, yeah. We're in Shawnee Hills right now. And it's funny because this is a really nice area. Like, everyone has like a little white picket fence or like a stone fence, just like in Ireland or Dublin or whatever. There's a lot of nice stone all over here, and everybody stacks it up in these slates to make fences and like mailboxes and stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Um, then with all that being cute and all, when I tried to make this stream live, I noticed. So there's a little place right around here that says like right, not that's a house, but the next thing up that is it says dentist, not any name or address or anything. It just says dentist. Well, in the mornings there's been a line around the corner, um, and each morning, and when we got home, or when I got home from getting her food, uh there was a line around the corner of people and cars. And I was like, that's weird. So when I tried to put my live stream on, it was like, did you mean the methadone and Suboxone clinic? So this stream's demonetized. I don't care. Fuck it. I'm in a real mood tonight, guys. So you get to see my just super over it attitude. But I did want to come and live stream, say hey, let you guys know why I didn't put a video out this week so far, really. Uh, uh, it's, yeah. So, I'm not sick yet, but thank you for the well wishes. Alpha Preacher, so you guys did all get sick on the 4th or 5th day. Um, Gotcha. Um, you all got sick on Saturday. You just didn't. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird. Everybody seems to have. Thank you for sure. A lot of people. The Alex we all love. Yeah, maybe the Alex you all tolerate. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of a crap show, right? My wife is sick. I feel like especially with my autoimmune stuff, I just feel like I'm impendingly about to get sick. And we're out of town spending a bunch of money. At least it's in a cozy little house. Like, at least we're not in like a big hotel full of people. But then we're gonna have to get home at some point out of the fact that like who I don't know how they expect people not to travel. That's the thing. That's why we always I mean, that's why I've been wearing masks when I travel is like on planes and stuff. Most people aren't anymore, it doesn't seem like. And it's because like uh how are people supposed to afford to just stay somewhere for 15 extra days or whatever? Um, yeah. So, um, yeah. Well, maybe Alpha Preacher, maybe I haven't and I'm just not impacted because I was really worn out after after I had my of all things the it was a flu shot and a uh COVID updated Omicron, 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 whatever, I don't care, whatever it's called, updated vaccine. And so, look at that star. Look how bright it is. It's probably Venus or Uranus or Saturn. Let's see. Oh, it's Saturn. It's definitely Saturn. So in any case, I gotta get back home eventually, but I'm in a real screw at night. And I was joking to you guys about the clinic right around the corner, and uh, don't mind me. I'm off the rails. This will get deleted anyways. But I have a couple friends, including one who's a nurse, and they all smoke. And they're like, you know what? We all smoke and our spouses got it. We never got it. Like now your chances are far worse statistically when you smoke for having complications. But you're also way more likely to be diabetic and all these other things. So their theory is that the nicotine killed everything good or bad in their body. Um so yeah, but regardless, I just needed to step outside and have a smoke with my friends, regardless of my health consequences. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll have to make a dash for it, especially if my wife keeps feeling better. I don't know ethically what to do. Otherwise, it's like, oh, take out a loan so that we can stay. Definitely not in an Airbnb, but like so that we can, uh, you know. Anyways, uh, cigarettes are a great sterilizer. That's what I should tell my girlfriend. Yes. Uh, Nicotine is used for, yeah, exactly. It was used for assassinations. It's super toxic. It's what gives you cancer. But, it's interesting in that some of my friends that are like ultra marathon runners and like triathlon and like Ironman type people, they've actually been hospitalized with the Omicron thread of it, and thread. See, my head's scrambled too. Strain of it, and yet some of the people I know who are the most like delinquent, belligerent people have totally avoided it, taking no precautions at all. Beta Aquatics. Did I receive your email? I believe so. You have a different name on there, right? No, it's not Beta Aquatics. It's, I don't want to say it online, but yes, I think I just got it tonight. But I just got the Wi-Fi working. We didn't know there was Wi-Fi here. It's really nice, like Airbnb we're staying at, but there's nothing explained, and so yeah. Alpha Preacher, you were hospitalized from it. Man, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I know. And we know a lot of people now who've got extended family, mostly older people, who've passed away from it. So it's no joke. We definitely didn't want to go, give her dad a hug or anything. So we got him a big cupcake balloon. Oh, here's another great thing that happened. We get him a big cupcake balloon, and the cupcake balloon is inflated indoors where it's about 75 degrees inside the store. We walk outside where it's 20 degrees out, and the balloon immediately falls on the ground and like is just limp because the gas constricted, or whatever you want to call it, uh, got denser. The only person you know who runs multiple marathons for fun smokes and has had both hips replaced. Yeah, there's something not right with those people who are like ultra marathoners and stuff. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just there's something, they're built different, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, so this is kind of my man, I don't even know. Wait, what happened? Molar? Somebody's sick. What's going on? Anyways, so yeah, and I'd avoided it this long too, and I was in Chicago and I was in Florida and all that stuff. I'm just blessed to be alive, to be honest. I hope that the recovery for you and your wife is speedy and that there's no complications, lasting effects. Yeah, me too. She seems fine. Like her energy's low and that's about it. Like, and she had a runny nose for 2 nights. But I mean, she's been like, let's go do things, and just can't, just knows she has to stay here and be good. Um, Now, I don't know how it's going to affect me if it hits me. That's what I'm more worried about. But at the moment, I can't really do much about it. So I'm just feeling real masochistic, or what's the word? Nihilistic, feeling just like, screw it all. So I wore a mask and I went and did a fish store tour for y'all. So I'll upload that whenever I get to a place that doesn't have throttled Wi-Fi. But let me tell you another scuba. I already feel 10 times better. I had a headache for a week and a half. Tooth got yanked, headache disappeared 20 minutes later. Right on. Infected teeth can be really bad. I think it was what, 2 or 3 years ago. I had a tooth on the bottom. Now I don't have any. Still waiting to finish up the whole implant process here. But yeah, from the whole lightning thing, when it cracked all those teeth, a lot of those cracks then led to infections over the next 2 or 3 years, and yeah, so it led to one that got into my blood, and I had a 106-degree fever. I mean, it's no joke. Like they said that if I'd gone another couple days, it could have gotten like potentially life threatening. They put me in like a special biohazard room, like with a plastic curtain and everything in the not the ICU, but the where they like let you into the ER, the triage area. They like put me in like a thing. Yeah, implants are so expensive. Yes, I agree. Current Julian works. I am going to somewhere, Mexico or Europe, for it, because my dentist that I've seen for a long time, who's pretty cool, and I've like traded art for surgery and different dental stuff since my lightning stuff. He, yeah, tooth infections. 1/5 of people died due to tooth-related illness in prehistory, so 10,000 years ago and longer. That was the 20% of people. That was what killed them. 1/3 died of violence or a blow or damaging injury of some sort. But Yeah, I've got to get all the teeth removed. My top ones too are all just busted up and gnarly. So it's gonna be like they said to get implants for like the dentures so that they stay in and chomp. They told me it'd be 50 grand total for the process. So it's just ridiculous. Like and then no one's insurance covers any of that. Like if you have good insurance, it might cover 2 grand of it. So yeah, but I don't. We'll avoid that. So how's everybody's fish doing? Yeah, listen to the radio. Yeah. 2 to 3K for one implant. Yeah, it's at least that much. So if you need like grafts or implants of cells or like buildup or gum replacement or anything like that, which I don't, thankfully. I've got a big, thick, dumb Neanderthal jaw. My bones I'm thick bone. I'm big bone. Um, then they have enough to drill into. But yeah, so if they don't though, then you're in trouble. Uh, let's see here. So, oh, Otzi, yeah, Otzi died in an arrow through the back, earliest cause of human death of someone we know for sure in recorded history, or IIRC. What's that mean? Anyways, Alex, have you seen any negative results with guppies and endlers? No, no negative results. The only negative result that I see from guppies and endlers being crossed is that old timers that are really into endler genetics being pure will cuss you out and tell you you're an idiot. Just don't release them back into a population saying they're pure endlers or whatever. That's the only thing. Just keep them, have fun with them. Tell people they're a hybrid if you do part with them. That's really the main thing, honestly. But yeah, they miss really well. Um, oh, if I recall correctly, got it. Yeah, I think Otzi might be. I'm trying to think. Well, we know actually there's some bog people, but I can't remember. I think they're 7,000 years. I don't remember how old Otzi is. But some of the bog people in Florida that we found their body, we can see like a spear through their back. Like, oh, that's what did it. Um, but yeah, catfish are doing great tonight. Just got some L144 lemon eye or lemon pleco blue eyes. Yeah, those are great. I love those. Aquatic Arts has a really nice strain of those that I've had now for 6 or 7 years. I've had from the person they get them from in who lives in Indiana. Running through some slow deaths. Not sure if parasite or bacterial bent spines made me think. Oh, that's rough. Bent spines and things can also though be due to water conditions, so it could be your TDS slash, if you have enough minerals and things in there. So I would just double check that the water's not like way too hard or way too soft for them. Same with pH. That's notorious. Guppies are notorious for having that, but they're also notorious for being inbred and that causing it too. So it's really hard to tell, honestly. Um, you still have a sick betta Popeye. Rough. First class fish, sometimes like I mean, I've done experiments and I've tried to see what the difference is you know, of if you use something like praziquantel or antibiotics or whatever. And with me and what I've tried, I honestly can say that the fish that I've just moved out of the community tank once they get a Popeye or dropsy infection, if I move them out of the tank they were in and I put them in a really healthy, clean type tank, put some catappa leaves in and feed them live food, I've had the exact same recovery rate. And I've tested this on about 25 fish without any meds and then about 30 fish with meds over the years when friends have sick fish too. and the recovery rate is about the same in my little miniature experiment, which doesn't mean it's at all scientific or correct, but it just kind of gives me an idea that, Popeye is one of those things that a lot of times they're just not happy with their situation. They just need a new setup, and then they need something, but meds don't always help and don't always fix it, and they may help it, but it's not a surefire thing. That's one of them. That and Colmenares are kind of the two that I feel like we still don't really know for sure always. Well, Nigel, yeah, Popeye is a protozoan usually, but also once their eye's been popped out, like that, a lot of times it won't go back in. So it's hard to know, like, if they had an infection and they got better, and their eye was, you know, uh, already distended like that. Alex thinks he's alone, but I might try a fresh tank. I appreciate the advice, trying to save his eye. Yeah, I wish you luck. I mean, salt dips and praziquantel, like I was saying, those are the two meds that I would try, and then the fresh tank. So like, try all of it at once if you want. Um, but yeah, it's a rough one. I would use aquarium salt, definitely. Without iodine, if you have shrimp, because a lot of them, uh, there's some copper and sulfur and iodine traces in some salts, and other ones there's not. But shrimp and invertebrates don't seem to handle that very well. Although, like little microprotozoans and bacteria and stuff also don't handle that well. So um, maybe it doesn't matter. But a lot of websites that say don't use table salt, the reason they're saying that is because a lot of table salt has iodine in it, or has iodine added to it. And that was more true in the past, but now a lot of it isn't. Like, a lot of Morton salt will say like either iodine or no iodine added. And if it's the non-iodine added kind, then you can use it pretty much like aquarium salt, honestly. Yeah. So there's that. I'm gonna finish up this other butt that I had out here, because I don't care, even though my wife will be yelling at me for smoking, I'm sure. But I'm over it. Let's see here. If you get stuck in Ohio, AQUATIC's closer to Cleveland, is a great little store with a strong community. Oh, cool. Good to know. Yeah, tomorrow, rivers and reefs, rivers to reefs, rivers and no, it's rivers and or from rivers to reefs, whatever it's called. Over by the airport in Columbus is the one that I want to check out right before I fly out, if I'm up to it. If I'm testing negative and all that, I'll still mask up because, like you said, with the little on the go tests, I don't know how good they are. They're good. I think they're good at finding positives generally. Mm, Reefers to rivers? Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called exactly. AGA 2022 contest stream is happening on Saturday if anybody's interested. Yeah, if I'm free at that time, I definitely will be. Um, in our country, there is a law. The law is like, do whatever the hell you want. It's ridiculous. I wish there was a law against it, but they just say, if you're sick, please don't travel until you've been clear. Now, some places and some airlines have stricter laws where they'll say you need to test negative for 5 days. That's the strictest that we have in our country right now. But others just say you need to have had it at least 5 days and be symptom free before you travel. Others will say symptom free for 5 days, and then, like I said, the strictest is symptom free and no negative tests. Now, our airline that we've chose to fly, Alaska, theirs is don't fly when sick, but there's no repercussion slash anything like that. It just like if you have it, because yeah, nobody masks anymore. No, none of the security people are masked up. None of the stewardess are not masked up. So we mask up just anyways. Like I do because of my autoimmune issues. And like honestly, I was one of the weirdos who during flu season I would mask up on a plane or at like a really busy train station or something. Anyways, just because the flu tends to hit me pretty hard when I the years that I've gotten like the actual flu, not just like a little cold. Um, by the way, if you're wondering why my nose is turning purple, it's because it's 20 degrees out here right now, or 25. I think it's supposed to be 20 tonight. But yeah, so I was going to go also try to collect some native fish, even though it's only gotten to about 30 degrees as the high the whole time we've been here. And went down to the river on the other side of the O'Shaughnessy Dam, which is right here on the Scioto River. And basically, we couldn't find water that didn't have ice on it that wasn't too sketchy. Like you definitely be getting out to wherever the ice ends, where the river starts. Like there's ice on the edges of the river. So not going to be able to dip net. Many Asian countries mask out of courtesy before outbreaks or current pandemic. Now there's a thought courtesy. Yeah, I mean, where people live where it's really dense, like 36 million people in Tokyo, in one city that are, like all stacked on top of each other, it really does make a huge difference in just the annual illness rates when they do that. Um, but yeah, I think our plan, since we're not home, is and I found it feels selfish. Like I mean, part of us is like, let's literally go into savings and let's take some money out and stay, spend an extra $500 or whatever it is, $100 a night for 5 more nights. But then if I test positive, then we got to start the cycle all over again. So it's kind of like, can we rush home before I test positive, both mask up, and just try to keep our heads down? It's really hard to know like the ethical thing to do. Um, Realistically, it used to be 14 days. And before, well, at the very beginning, it was 14 days after you were negative. So people were spending 3 weeks places, but that was when the world was more understanding of it. Now, another thing, like I went in Washington State, the tests are free. So you can go to the local pharmacy and you can ask for 3 tests a household every like month or two or something like that. At least in King County. And the tests here apparently aren't, because I walked in, they had some tests on the Walgreens counter and I picked them up and I walked out. My wife then went in. This was the night we found out she had it and we were still traveling. So I was like, you should probably wait in the car. And she's like, I'm going to go ask if they do the PCR testing here. Like if she could take like a blood sample, because some of the places have a clinic in them. But no. And then they also said to her, like, when she grabbed one, they're like, no, you got to pay for those. And apparently I walked out with a couple. Oops. Well, I hope they were federally funded ones or something. Ooh, 15 dwarf mud skippers for 42 bucks. Nice. Yeah, we have a ton of hand sanitizer, Alpha Preacher. Just mask up, don't cough on your hands, wipe off whatever you touch, and get home. I think that's the plan, and I think we're just gonna pay like the extra $100 a ticket to get home tomorrow instead. Uh, the thing is, we have one bathroom at home, and there was like a bunch of crazy stuff that happened as we were leaving too. My neighbor, his little 5-year-old son came over to my house at 11 o'clock at night, and he's been on the channel like saying hi before. His name's Sawyer, and Sushi has also been on the channel, the father, and he's been on the channel 2 or 3 times, and basically Sawyer, the little kid, came running over to my house. So our flight was at 4 or 5 a.m. So we were leaving the house at 3. So it must have been a 5 a.m. flight. Yeah, we were leaving our house at 3 though. And so I was still up at 11, and he comes running over and he goes, "Help." And I was like, "What's going on, buddy?" And he's like just in his pajamas. He's like, "My daddy won't get up." And so I go running over there, and his dad's having a seizure, which apparently he's an epileptic, and the mom was home, but the kid just ran outside because he's like, "My mom can't figure out how to wake him up." Um, so then we had these kids at the house. So then I had to call her while her husband's still in the hospital and be like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, my wife who was holding your baby and your 5-year-old kid, and we were trying to like entertain them before we caught our flight. Yeah, we probably exposed them to COVID." So that was a fun call, and I mean, he's dealing with a whole lot of other stuff too. So anyways, it's just been a whole bunch of crap. It's been a crap sandwich of a trip. Uh, we should have just skipped it. Although at least she did surprise her dad. Her dad was like, "What are you doing here?" And then he came to like give her a hug, and of course we're like, "No, no, 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 don't come here." So yeah. Um, Yeah, I hope the kids don't get it either. They've had it before, and they had it like a month and a half ago, so I hope that maybe they're immune to it. I mean, if I hadn't gotten it from my wife yet, maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm just spilling all the tea on myself. All my sins are coming out. Do the I'm actually just doing the rave thing, but it looks like I'm doing the Catholic thing. I'll have to do a bunch of Hail Marys apparently. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to hop on, let folks know why I did Fishtory, and then nothing else has come out this week. It's just been a crazy week. And hopefully we get back home. Hopefully I get the next Fishtory done for Monday. And I kind of want to make a long episode out of the first Fishtory of last week because it's some crazy news. The fact that the first human proof of humans cooking, and the fact that they had such rich amounts of compounds that are only associated with a fish and shellfish diet, and the fact that the other groups that were inland had the chemicals and isotopes in their bones that are only associated with a freshwater fish diet and no shellfish and stuff. Pretty big news that humans 500,000 years ago were, one, able to control fire just fine and have these fires wherever, but two, that they were eating these fish and cooking them, and the fact that they were eating cooked protein and that it was fish gives them all the calories they would need potentially to run our current body with our brain using as much as we do. Did this study say whether it was indicative of farming fish or just from eating those ponds and lakes for an extended period? So it was there was proof that they were at those sites year round, off and on for thousands of years, like sometimes for like 50 years and then 10 and then whatever. But so it seems like it's proof of non-nomadic people, which it kind of contradicts. A lot of people assume that early humans had to keep moving all the time to get food and to get resources. But if they were able to catch fish and there's enough fish in just a small group of people that they could do that, it probably wasn't farming, but I'm guessing that's probably horticulture is what you'd call that, or resource management, because you'd have people that know and understand the seasons and what grows there. And of course, if they want a mongongo nut, They're not going to go out onto the safari and risk getting eaten by a lion or whatever every time they want a mongongo nut snack, if they can then just plant mongongo trees near their camp. Um, so yeah, there's almost certainly indication of that, like that they were pulling weeds that were not useful and bringing nut seeds, or even just from what they throw away, that would, like, that their rubbish piles and things would end up growing. So, you know what's crazy though is the store that I went to today here in Ohio. They were selling neon tetras, blue neon tetras, for what was it? I think it was $8.99 a fish. And I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And then they had salt and pepper Corys were $12.99 a fish. I was like, what is going on? People only needed to be nomadic for vegetation and migrating herds. They hunted if environment didn't force a necessity for food or migration, though. Whether, yeah, I mean, yeah, or if the population of the people got so high that all the animals were like, screw this, we're not hanging out around those people. Um, oh, you got a Nigerian red crebensis. They're easy to breed. They're really easy to breed. You can't stop them from breeding. In fact, I got some of those. We had our big annual plant sale, and I haven't shown you guys the video yet, I don't think, but I should. I have bits and pieces of it. Maybe I can edit that tomorrow while I'm waiting at the airport if we have some time. But yeah, we had our big annual sale right before we left, and yeah, um, I got Loganandra meeboldite silver crossed with pink powder. So, and it was already in aquatic form, or it appears to be anyways, which is very strange because most people just do that for profit and put that in like little totes with high humidity. This appears to have already been underwater. So hopefully it keeps growing. We'll see. Did the people they find have only fish and shellfish diet? Their protein was 70 to 90% fish. So pretty much. They probably ate some other stuff too, but very, very high. Higher than anyone other than the Yupik and Inuit people have been noted of having in modern day diets. But they did also find like the geographic that it was a lake that water flowed into and that didn't flow out of. I can't remember what they call those, like not eutrophic, but anyways. So yeah, but guys, it doesn't seem like anybody's really asking too much about fish questions or anything tonight. And you know what? I've kind of realized, and I did realize this a long time ago, was that when I answer everybody's questions all day in comments and when I personally chat with people, which I love doing, don't get me wrong, like it's part of why I love doing the YouTube stuff. Nobody has questions to ask because they've already talked to me or a friend or a person in the community or whatever. Whereas when you act like some of the bigger channels where nobody gets an answer unless they're on the live stream, people kind of save up these quandaries and conundrums for the live streams. And I don't know how to deal with that. I think I got to just keep being true to myself, even if it means that, yeah. Thank you, Denang. Yeah, I took the last booster and my wife got COVID. I got sick, never rechecked. You are still handsome. Well, thank you very kindly. And thank you so very much for the super chat. I know boy, do I know times are tough financially for everybody. So I really, it does mean a lot. Please don't donate unless you're in a place to do so. Just don't, like, I just hope nobody's a member donating out of guilt or anything like that. But the memberships, the $1.99 or any of the super chats, as always, are welcomed. Crungillian Dream collaboration of, oh, I know, Tony Santoro from Crime Pays Botany doesn't. Uh, Hit him up and tell him, like, to collaborate with me, because I've messaged him but never gotten a hold of him. But he has collaborated with some people in the mushroom world that I actually know from Seattle, which is interesting. And also, if anybody who's watched the Vice series Hamilton Morris's Pharmacopoeia or Hamilton Morris's show, he's a chemist and bioanthropologist, chemoanthropologist basically. Um, and kind of like a little anemic hipster from Brooklyn who's a chemist and psychonaut. Anyways, he he has a series on all sorts of crazy psychoactives around the world, and he talked about uh, mushrooms and their origin of a couple strains on a video on YouTube, and it had like three of my like people that I've gone hunting mushrooms with and who help identify at our local mushroom club. It's like just like our fish club. So it's pretty cool. Mick, you just like to hang out with me? Well, thanks. At least there's a couple of us that like to hang out. You know, we got 40 or so people hanging out, so I appreciate that. It looks like we got 31 likes and about 50 people. Um, oh, what's the guy's name? It is Hamilton Moore, right? Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton Moore, I think. With let's see here. Glassbox Swimmers, what's up? Uh, Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Yeah, that's one of the shows. That's the one that was on Vice. Now, Vice didn't want to show a lot of the stuff that he wants to show, like the actual chemistry written out and the synthesis of things. So he's kind of broken off and done his own show. His dad was a director and his mom is an artist. Um, and he comes from kind of a well, semi well to do, but also connected family. And he it's interesting the stuff he works on. But Paul Stamets, Alan Rockefeller, and then Alan um, or sorry, John Allen, John W. Allen. Those are all people I know well that he talks about in a couple of his episodes. So him, I really just like the way he's always done his journalism and filming and everything. But also, yeah, Joey San, uh, what is it, Santoro, uh, would really want to, yeah, I would really want to get together and do a collaboration on that. That would be, I mean, or I don't know why I said Joey, Tony uh, Santoro. He and I, like when he had his, I actually, you know what, I said he hadn't messaged me back, but he did when he had a really small channel, and I just commented. He would comment back. But I've been watching that channel for freaking since he had like 500 viewers. So maybe just because he was in the Bay Area and done working um, on the railroad, and I was traveling in the Northwest, and we both had such similar interests. But yeah, I love his channel, and now that it's gotten bigger and they've had him on like Wired doing the tech support or whatever it's called for botany and botanicals, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, First Class Fish, yeah, they're not on HBO anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they started their own channel, and then that failed, I think. And then, who knows? Um, Liquid Rock, no notification. Well, you're at the party now. There wasn't much fish talk, and basically we just talked about woe is me. No, we just talked about the predicament of a crazy week slash weekend. This has been for myself and my wife. But I'm hoping that she turns the corner by tomorrow and we can travel, and that I'm not sick by tomorrow. We'll see. But guys, you know what? I think I'm gonna probably get out of here because I am Hey, Fanatical, thank you so much, buddy. Just a little fun for your sins. Well, thank you. The Dr. Pepper and the smoking is not gonna help anything, that's for sure. But some sleep might. So, yeah. Uh, Alex, when I'm in your chat, I feel like an eager young fish keeper cadet in master's class. I'm proud of the nerd status. Well, thank you so much, Oink Master. Uh, yeah. Well, I have a feeling because I'm on probation on YouTube because of my nature walk video where I pointed out mushrooms that weren't even psychoactive or illegal or anything. And then I appealed it and I lost my appeal. It made my non-strike warning go to a strike. Like that was the um, do you run a Dr. Novak style plenum or how do you have it set up? That's way too big of a topic to cover for me. Maybe you're talking to someone in chat, but I do have a couple of those still set up with a couple of BSB boxes still set up, but I don't see huge returns or differences with his setup methods for small tanks. I have seen people that show me firsthand with koi and big air where you can have a whole bay or sump of surface area where that works better, but I haven't seen the same utility possible in say under 20 gallons in my personal experience, but maybe I'm doing it wrong, who knows. And I can prove if you guys pay the $25 to do a background check on him, you will find that he has accreditation from nowhere other than like part of a civil engineering degree in the 70s. Yes, Errol Morris's son. That is correct. So his dad is, yeah, the director and producer, filmmaker, Errol Morris. So, guys, I'm gonna roll out, and I'm going to hope that you guys have a great weekend, even if mine's still gonna be a little bit bumpy before I get to the finish line. But of course, I will get to the finish line, and as long as I'm not like sick, I will talk to you guys for sure on Monday, and that's when we will give away that shrimp kit and possibly another couple things, and then I believe let's see, then there will be two. Either we can do a $300 set of $100 a piece, or a 200 and a 100 and a whatever. However we want to split up. We have $300 worth and a shrimp kit for folks by December, the second week of December, on top of the two earlier ones that I've coerced out of sponsors. So that'll be coming up too. But I'll make a post about it, of course. Jericho, good to see you. I'm hanging in there, but I do need to go rest now. I am tired, so I'm over in the East Coast time. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you later. have a good night, and take care of your fish, your tanks, people around you, and of course yourself, because if you don't do that, you can't do any of it. But thank you guys so much for hanging out, saying hey, um, and I will tell Laura that you all are wishing her a speedy recovery. That's very sweet of you guys. Um, it is. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.